over the requirements for E-2 investor visa. All right. Okay, before we start, let's do our disclaimer. This presentation is for educational purpose only. This is not meant to replace an actual consultation with your immigration lawyer. No attorney-client relationship is formed by watching this presentation. Okay, investor visas. All right, there are two types or two categories. One is E-2 investor visa, which we're going to be focusing today, and then the other one is EB-5 immigrant visa. So basically the differences are an E-2 investor visa is a non-immigrant temporary investor visa. It does not give you the permanent residence or the green card. EB-5 immigrant visa is the one that gives you the green card. So there are two types under the EB-5 immigrant visa category: direct minimum investment, in which you're investing on direct investment. The minimum amount is 1.8 million. So there's a set minimum amount of investment required. And then the other one, this is a lower investment, is the investment on a targeted employment area. And the minimum investment there is $900,000. Okay, now, is there a minimum investment required for E-2 investor visa? No, there's no minimum investment amount required, but the requirement is that the investment must be substantial. So later on, I'm gonna discuss kung ano yung substantial investment and how do we show that the investment is substantial, okay? So for E-2 treaty investor visa, this is going to be the focus of our presentation. We're going to talk about the EB-5 immigrant visa on another episode. To qualify, these are the general requirements. You must be a national of a country with which the U.S. maintains a treaty of commerce and navigation. So the Philippines has a treaty of commerce and navigation with the United States. So we qualify, Filipinos qualify as an E-2 applicant because the Philippines has a treaty with the United States on commerce and navigation. So pasok na tayo doon sa first requirement. The E-2 applicant must have invested or must be actively in the process of investing a substantial amount of a capital in a bona fide enterprise in the United States. So, dito sa second requirement, marami itong requirements na to actually. So, dapat merong active investment or in the process of actively investing. So hindi pwede yung, oh, I'm going to invest, we have a contract. So there must be an actual investment, or you must be in the process of investing. So some money spent, may mga overt acts na, may mga initial actions taken, initial actions or initial investments made. So that's one part. And then there must be a substantial amount of investment. So we're going to talk about what is substantial. And there must be a bona fide enterprise. So it must be a real operating commercial enterprise, okay? The E-2 applicant must be seeking to enter the U.S. to develop and direct the investment enterprise. So your purpose in coming to the United States as an E-2 investor is to develop and direct the E-2 enterprise. So that's your main purpose, okay? What's good with E-2 visa is that you can apply consular when you're coming from the outside, and you can also change your status when you're already in the United States. Say you have a B-2 visa, B-1, B-2, or maybe an H-1B or a J-1, and you're looking to operate and develop a business, you can actually change your status from a non-immigrant visa to E-2 investor visa. And the other good thing with this is that pati yung spouse mo and children mo, children below 21 years old, pwede sila maging derivative E-2 visa holders. They can also obtain employment authorization documents, and your children can actually, of course, go to school here in the United States. So there's so many good things with E-2 investor visa. Plus, the main thing is that you can actually work for your enterprise. You can actually legally work for your business. All right. There's also what you call the 50% rule. So what if the E-2 investor is not the 100% owner of the business? Pwede ba yun? Yes. Provided that the E-2 applicant must own at least 50% of the business when the investor is an organization and the applicant is an employee. So say it's a joint venture or it's a partnership and you form an organization, 50% of that must be a US citizen, US national, or a US enterprise, and 50% must be owned by the E-2 applicant. So you cannot be lower than 50% in ownership. All right, so lagi akong natatanong about what is substantial capital investment. Is there like a minimum amount required? Or ang laging tanong sa akin, attorney, pwede na ba yung $50,000? Or pwede na ba yung $100,000? Actually, there's no set minimum amount required for the investment, unlike in EB-5. So yung EB-5, di ba, pag direct investment, it's 1.8 million. Pagka targeted employment areas, or what we call TEA, it's 900,000. And when it comes to E-2 investor visa, walang minimum requirement. However, you must show that your investment must be substantial. And how do you show that? And I'll tell you how in a minute. Okay, it must be more than a marginal amount solely for earning a living. So, meaning hindi dapat yung marginal just for you to earn a living and you're the only employee in your business. Okay, so that's a no-no. It must be substantial, and it must be actually operating, and you're not the only employee. And it's not like you created a business just to get employed. So it's not like that. It's an investment. You produce jobs, and you have to show that you actually hired people in your enterprise, in your business. So big no-no sa immigration, when they see, oh, you're the only employee and there are no other employees in this business. So parang this enterprise is just created solely for the purpose of for you to earn or for you to get employed. Okay, the enterprise is a real and operating commercial enterprise, and the applicant is in a position to develop and direct the enterprise. All right, so let's go back to what is substantial. For E-2 investments, you can actually start a business or you can buy an existing business. Kung ano ang substantial will be determined kung ano ang magiging cost mo ba, yung kailangan mo to start and operate that business. So I always advise my clients to produce a business plan. In that business plan, we must state, or we must provide information as to how much it's gonna cost to start that business, to operate that business, or to buy that business. Say to start the business, it will cost $100,000. To operate the business, it will cost an additional $60,000. So you're looking at $160,000. So what is a substantial capital investment on that? So the business plan must show what is a substantial capital investment? Yun ang pinaka-advice ko if you're going to file an E-2 investment application or E-2 investor visa, is to get the help of a professional business planner to prepare actually a very good business plan for you. In my practice, I always get a professional business consultant or a business planner to provide a business plan with a projection of 5 years. And that will be one of the supporting evidence in the application. Okay. The applicant is in a position to develop and direct the enterprise. Here, it's very important to look at the background of the applicant. So I require my clients to submit a resume. Did he come from the medical industry? Does he have a business background? Does he have a managerial background? Or does he have any experience in the technology business? So these are very relevant, and these are actually very important to show that you are in a position to develop and direct the enterprise. Okay, what is the proportionality test? Ito yung proportionality test will determine kung ang investment mo ba ay substantial. So this is what I was explaining earlier. Yung qualifying funds mo versus yung cost of business. So if you're investing 100,000 and then yung cost of business is 100,000, if the two figures are the same, then the investor has invested 100% of the needed funds in the business. Such an investment is substantial. Okay, there are no bright line percentages that exist in order for an investment to be considered substantial. I will advise you to speak with your immigration lawyer about this because ito yung part na talagang binubusisi ng immigration. Of course, they want to make sure that you're putting a substantial amount in the United States to operate your business and for you not just to work or, to get employed in the United States. So they want to make sure that your investment is substantial and can actually support the business. Okay, finally, the E-2 applicant must show that you have the intention to depart. Okay, now, aliens' expression of an unequivocal intent to depart the U.S. upon termination of E status is normally sufficient, okay? So you do not need to maintain your residence in your country, okay? You may sell your residence and move all household effects to the United States when you apply. And your expression is enough, okay? However, if you're a beneficiary of an immigrant visa, you need to satisfy that you have the intention to depart the United States when your E-2 visa expires, okay? All right, so the other good thing about E-2 visa is that you can actually get E-2 essential skilled employees to help you in your business. So you can get E-2 workers from your country. So say you're starting a Filipino restaurant and you need workers na talagang marunong, skilled workers na marunong magluto ng pagkain Filipino. Okay, so you can get E-2 essential skilled workers for your restaurant business. Okay, what are the qualifications? So number one, para sa E-2 essential skilled employees, dapat they have the same nationality as the E-2 investor. So kung ang E-2 investor ay Filipino, ay dapat ang E-2 essential workers din ay Filipino rin. And E-2 essential skilled employees must be employed as an executive, supervisor or skilled, essential skilled workers if they are not executive or supervisors. Yun yung culinary professionals, yung mga chefs, na may special qualifications. All right. Okay, so I think that's it for our presentation today. An E-2 visa is a great visa to actually start your business or expand your business here in the United States and to work for your business, especially now that is a COVID pandemic. A lot of employers are not willing to sponsor. Also, a lot of businesses are closing. So if you have funds, if you are wanting to operate your business, you're here, this is a good way to get your visa, change your status, maybe from B1 or B2 or H1B to an E2 investor visa. And also you can get E2 essential workers. As of this time, this is not yet covered by the prohibition, by the restriction, okay? Not prohibition, restriction. E2 is not, E2 essential skilled workers are not yet not yet restricted. All right. And the other good thing for E2 investor visa is that you can get your spouse, you can also get your children, your spouse can obtain employment authorization document and maaaring magtrabaho with kahit kaninong employer. And of course, yung E2 investor ay maaaring magtrabaho para sa sarili niyang business. Okay? That's it for today. Kung hindi ka pa nag-subscribe, please do. Please like and share it to your friends and let me know if there's any topic that you want me to discuss. Ako pa si Atty E ng Bordeaux. Till next time. Thank you.